Some victories arrive loudly. Others arrive so quietly you almost miss them. This is a story about waiting without knowing what you are waiting for. In a small town near the old trade roads of Central Asia, there lived a woman named Ayla. The town was not famous. Travelers passed through it more than they stayed. Dusty streets, stone houses, small markets, and long evenings shaped the rhythm of life. Ayla was not young and not old. She was in that middle place where dreams still breathe, but doubts speak more often. She lived with her younger brother, Yusuf, who worked with horses and carts for traders. Their parents had passed away years ago, leaving behind a house, some memories, and a quiet sense of responsibility. Ayla did not think of herself as special. She only believed in one thing: if something is meant to grow, it needs time. Every morning, Ayla walked to the market before the sun climbed too high. The market was alive in gentle ways. Women sold vegetables with tired smiles. Men argued softly over prices. Chickens moved between feet like they owned the place. A tea seller poured cups without looking, guided by habit. Ayla repaired old fabrics. People brought torn coats, worn shawls, and faded rugs. She cleaned them, stitched them, and returned them with care. Her work was slow, too slow, some said. "You could finish more if you hurried," a shopkeeper once told her. Ayla only smiled. "If I rush, it shows," she said. At night, she cooked simple meals. She listened to Yusuf speak about the road, the horses, the people he met. Sometimes they laughed, sometimes they sat in silence, and sometimes Ayla wondered if patience was strength or just fear wearing soft clothes. One year, change came quietly. A large trading group arrived in town. They brought new fabrics, bright colors, perfect edges, fast work. People stopped coming to Ayla. Why repair old things when new ones were cheap? Her basket stayed empty. Days passed without customers. The market felt louder, but her corner felt invisible. Yusuf noticed. "You should go work with them," he said one evening. "They finish 10 pieces while you finish 1. Ayla nodded, but her chest felt heavy. That night, she lay awake listening to the wind touch the windows. She asked herself a hard question: am I patient or am I avoiding change? Weeks passed. Money grew thin. Ayla sold a ring that belonged to her mother. She said nothing to Yusuf. She began to doubt the quiet voice she had trusted for years. One afternoon, while walking home, she saw an old man sitting near the mosque steps. He was feeding pigeons slowly, one grain at a time. Children ran past him. Traders rushed by, but he did not hurry. Ayla sat nearby. After a long silence, she asked, "Why so slow?" The man smiled. "If I rush," he said, "the birds become afraid." That night, Ayla cried for the first time in many months, not because she was weak, but because she was tired of not knowing. One cold morning, a stranger arrived at her door. She was a woman from the mountains, carrying a large woven rug. "It belonged to my grandmother," the woman said. "No one else would touch it." The rug was old, stained, fragile. Ayla ran her fingers over it gently. "It will take time," she said. "That is why I came," the woman replied. For weeks, Ayla worked quietly. She cleaned thread by thread. She repaired broken patterns without changing their meaning. Yusuf watched her. "You look different," he said, calmer. Ayla nodded. "I stopped asking when it will end. I'm just doing what is in front of me." When the rug was finished, the mountain woman returned. She touched the fabric and began to cry. "This still feels like her," she whispered. Word spread, slowly, not loudly, not quickly, but people remembered. They brought old things again, things with stories, things that could not be replaced. The traders left when the season changed. Their work moved on. Ayla stayed. She did not grow rich, she did not become famous, but her days filled again. Yusuf began helping her in the evenings, learning to repair leather straps and saddlecloths. Their house felt warmer. Years later, Ayla trained a young girl from the market. The girl was impatient. "When will I be good?" she asked. Ayla smiled. "When you stop counting the days," she said. Outside, the market continued. Children grew, animals aged, faces changed, but the work remained steady. Ayla understood something then. Patience was not waiting for reward. It was choosing care even when no one was watching. Success does not always arrive as a gift. Sometimes it arrives as permission to continue. Patience is not delay. It is trust without proof. And often, what we are waiting for is quietly waiting for us to become ready.